Welcome to Theory of Conspiracy. A couple of northern lads from the UK discuss plots, cover-ups, and the unexplainable.
Hi TheoCons. This is a bit of throwback to some of the early episodes. I'm out on a walk, recording a bit of a preamble before the main podcast. This isn't our usual podcast. This is one of the bonus episodes we mentioned in the last couple of episodes before we close the season. Essentially, if you've listened to the very end of any of the other podcasts, from about podcast 3 or 4 all the way up to podcast 20, you'll have heard bloopers, just little one-liners. Some of them were in the podcast, some of them were on the editing room floor, but were still quite funny, and I decided to throw them in as bloopers. So Carlos's idea was, we must have enough content there to throw, to make an episode, Andy. Let's throw a load out. So this first batch of bloopers is from, like I say, about episode 3 when we started including the bloopers, up to about episode 14 or 15, I think. Just want to say that even though we've not put out a podcast for a couple of weeks, because of the gap we've had, we're still seeing downloads, which is absolutely amazing. So our host, which is Podomatic, we get what I think are quite reliable download stats. The plays aren't so accurate because it only shows the plays through the Podomatic website and through Spotify. Whereas if you're listening to this on Google or Deezer or iTunes, we don't get the plays fed back, but obviously we're seeing downloads. So hopefully if people are downloading, people are listening. So thanks very much if you are listening and you're still listening to us. That's absolutely fantastic.
If you would like to support the podcast, please talk about this with your friends or give us a review on iTunes. You can comment or contribute at TheoConPod, that's at TheoConPod, or check the link in the podcast description.
Season 2 is going to be a little bit different because we've actually got some guests coming on. We liked it when it was the 3 of us, so there was myself, Nick and Carlos. We got some good banter between three people. Nick decided he was going to go silent and be more of a silent partner on us. So that's why you're still going to hear his sweet little Scottish voice in the outtakes in a minute. But you'll notice that fizzles out towards the later episodes. Like I say, he's still around, he still chats to us, engages with us on topics. So we will still mention him from time to time. But we put a list of topics out for season 2 to some friends and hopefully people we wanted to on the show as guests. We've had a few people come back and say, yeah, I'd love to do that. So we just need to nail them down, hopefully in December, when I'm back up and running, get some interviews done, record a podcast around the interview, so the usual banter from myself and Carlos around the interview itself, and hopefully get those out in January. I think Carlos wants us to do something special for the 24th of December, which was the anniversary of when our first episode came out. I say first episode, it was that little intro that we put out just to introduce the 3 of us. It wasn't a full episode, but nevertheless, Carlos is he likes his on this day in history facts, doesn't he? So that's a new one for the 24th of December that he can refer back to.
The boys will be back after these short messages. Check out the links on our social media for our merch store. Each purchase will contribute 50p towards supporting the podcast. Also, subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels, or sharing this podcast with friends is very much appreciated. Don't forget you can leave us a review on iTunes and we will mention it on the show, or send us an audio message to get your voice on air. You can ask us or say anything you like. Now, back to the topic.
Yeah, keep downloading, keep listening. If you are listening, please come and just say hi on social media. Again, it's really going to motivate us to get the podcast back up and running ASAP if we know people are eager for it or waiting, and we're seeing that interaction on social media. It's at TheoConPod.
That's at TheoConPod, or check the link in the podcast description.
Again, we're on Twitch, so we are going to be on Twitch. Check our Facebook calendar for that, or just check the channel out on Twitch and follow us, and you'll get a notification when we're about to go live.
Twitch.tv/TheoConPod.
It's it's basically shorter versions of what you've got in the podcast. It's the same usual chat. It's not always conspiracy based. We're happy to talk about anything. I mean, Carlos literally will talk about anything, anytime, anywhere, any place. If anyone is listening on iTunes, please just give us a 1-star, a 2-star, a 5-star. Tell us what you genuinely think about what you like about the podcast, what are the good bits, what are the bad bits, because we're happy to change it around for season 2. If you don't like the bloopers, let us know. If you do like the bloopers, great. Again, let me know. Any other bits of the format, if you don't like my waffles at the beginning, or if you do like my little waffles at the beginning, yeah. Any topics you want us to cover, any of your opinions on, did we get it right, did we get it wrong on previous episodes, even a message saying, please stop talking about Corona. So that's it, really. So without further ado, here's some bloopers.
What do you mean plugged in?
Hello? Is there anybody out there? Hello? Hello? Is there anybody out there?
I've probably read about 200 plus books on the Third Reich.
Maybe I'm thinking of the vampire hunter Lincoln.
I'm sure all those Nazis on the other side of the moon can all see the future, Nick. From the films I've been watching.
I'll give more credit to the dinosaurs than I'll give to the Third Reich.
I look like some kind of weirdo stood next to the wall or something.
Millie, what do you say about that? That's what I thought.
Sponsored by Disney, all that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I might listen to this one. Panic! Panic!
There's an interesting fact about cockroaches. If a human touches a cockroach, the cockroach immediately begins to bathe and wash itself.
Do you know what? Do you know what the hissing noise is of a hissing cockroach?
It's wings.
Nah, it's farting.
Oh, just like me. The only time I fart is when I'm aroused. That's it. So.
Oh, that's too much. Both of that's too much information for my small brain.
God likes me. I've done a lot of good things for God.
Crazy times, brother. That's what I'll say about that. Crazy times.
All three of us could perish. This could be our last podcast together.
Oh, well, if it's me, you better onboard someone with editing skills.
Yeah, probably another fellow fucking Nazi.
That's it. So maybe it's obviously that's where my head's gone from left to right on these kind of things.
You know what I mean? It was one of those denials where you sounded like David Walliams for a second.
Have you ever read up on any topic that we've covered on the podcast?
No, I haven't read up in Rendlesham either.
Yeah, you said that? Well, I thought you just farted down this microphone or something.
Carlos has got mad cow disease, never mind corona. I've heard if you got a tiny penis, you got a good chance of surviving, Carlos. So you shouldn't worry. But I am fucking terrified.
We'll do a human sacrifice. No, we won't take it because last time we took Nick somewhere, he forgot the fucking tickets, didn't he?
Well, you can hear it back on the podcast.
Anyway, doesn't get any laughs when I tell it.
I've got a big smile on my face. It's good. It's good. Give me a second. I've actually got the giggles now because.
Yeah, you have to be at some geek convention to roll that one out. Good luck making a podcast out of that, mate. Good luck. BAFTA's on the way, Andy. Keep it up.
Shut up. Think about what you're fucking doing. Oh.
You're just going to have to wade through mountains of videos of God knows what.
You'd love that, Nick.
There's crazy people everywhere.
Can't believe it. Nick, they're censoring me. I knew it. That's it.
Well, that's why I didn't say any bloody names, but I asked the question discreetly.
Dude, lost to Corona.
Just in case we get confused with all these other Carloses on the chat.
That's the first bit of sense I've heard on a Joe Rogan podcast ever, man.
Dude, you've never even listened to Joe Rogan podcast. What are you talking about?
If I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Bang. I've probably been banged up.
I've told you to stop wearing that balaclava in public.
Must be another podcast. Huh. So many podcasts.
walking down Talbot Road, near the cricket club. I was walking up that way, so literally.
Carlos, you don't know who's listening to this, so why don't you just give out your GPS coordinates and make it easier for all the people that want to kill you? So Carlos's current location is 52.129.
Will there be strippers? Wait, can we just get it clear?
Day in, day out, you hear about this happening to kids, that happening to kids, people trying to get them in vans and cars and shit and all sorts of stuff.
How do you think I met Nick?
Yeah, bundled him in the back of my car. It was because he was wearing that little dress. It really worked for me.
Carlos, marry, kiss, avoid. 3 people: Joe Rogan, David Icke, Brian Rose. Go.
What's that? Marry, kiss, or destroy? You
Avoid.
said
Avoid.
Marry. So it's David Icke, Joe Rogan, or Brian Rose.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to marry them all, don't you?
Carlos, just the fact that you're thinking about it shows how fucking gay you are. Just shut up. Move on.
I love all 3 of them.
Exactly. Exactly. You'd love to be in a train with the 3 of the fuckers.
Don't rattle on about shit. Just give me a couple of words about other things we might mention along the lines of.
I've got a question. Why the fuck are so many people listening to us talk shit in them links that you posted? And also, how are people listening to the thing longer than we recorded it? Like, we recorded some like 60 minutes and they were listening to like 24 minutes. And then, is that because they pause and they think deeply about what we've said? At the same time, why would anybody want to listen to us for more? I wouldn't listen to us for more than 5 minutes. I go, these guys are dickheads. I'm off.
Mate, we're fucking changing the world, mate, day by day.
I don't think so. So what kind of weirdos are we attracting? Right, I just want to get it out there, right? Just so you both know for sure. If any of our podcasts were ever to go viral, where the fuck's the cat going? I never want to be connected to them. I never want any of you two to point to them and say, this is the Nick that said that. Ever, right? This is completely anonymous for me, and I will deny it till the day I die.
You paranoid bastard!
Andy knows how I feel about that. You know how I feel about it now.
Oh, Nick's gone to another dimension.
And keep your hashtags for your fucking Facebook.
Take my brain to another dimension. Boom!
None of them are bloopers. Those are private comments for us 3, you fuckers.
Was it Boris Johnson said he did a cocaine, but he put it near his nose, but he didn't inhale it.
Happy days. We don't want your piss stream in our fucking stream.
What? Find out what your real agenda is. Carlos.
Oh, yeah, my agenda, my transgender.
I don't think he's muted. I don't see a cross on his fucking mic. And I can still hear him thumping away.
Are you going to ask him for the address of these brothels?
Yeah, that's it. From an orderly queue.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet his pants are really tight. He's that excited.
No. No. I've been. No, I am literally very, very, very excited. I was asleep before, and now we're literally excited. Why can you tell I'm really excited about this?
Yeah, really excited. I was thinking exactly the same thing, how excited you were.
Lads, you don't appreciate how much I look forward. Nick's probably like sees this as a chore. Me, I'm the polar opposite. I fucking look forward to this. I'm actually counting down the minutes and the hours. Yes, I'm excited. Podcast today.
I don't even know what we're talking about. So, yeah, but I'm sure I've got an opinion on it, whatever it is.
This daily unlimited exercise doesn't fucking exist. So, because nobody does it, unlimited exercise. It's like having unlimited drink, unlimited food. There's only so much you can do.
Did you start crying and say you didn't want to die a virgin? Touch your pee-pee, Andy. Touch your pee-pee.
Oh, I'm always touching my pee-pee.
That's what Nick taught me when I was 16. Touch your pee-pee, Carlos. Touch your pee-pee. That's what he said. Can you imagine if someone turned around and says, "Oh yeah, I've discovered Jesus Christ's CD collection"?
You're waffling.
No, what do you mean waffling? It's a question. You need to ask the question. It's an answer, I should say.
Shush!
Oh man, I've got fucking hours still left, mate.
Just leave it recording for Carlos and he can do a big monologue, and then you can get all the snippets at the end.
Cool. I don't think there'll be many outtakes in this one, man.
Carlos, go on mute, you fucker.
Yeah, so this is our last ever podcast, listeners.
On 9/11.
Oh, Carlos, he gets that in.
Wait, a stoner has a meeting at fucking 8:30 in the morning. It runs over by 30 minutes. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Why? What was the? Give me the synopsis of what you just come to a conclusion of.
That I'm always right.
What in your head, Carlos?
Dunno.
You can help support the podcast or keep in touch with the boys by following them on Twitch and subscribing on YouTube. Please check the link in the show notes when you get a moment. Check out the links on our social media for our merch store. Each purchase will contribute 50 pence towards supporting the podcast. Also, subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels, or sharing this podcast with friends is very much appreciated.